So deschooling. Deschooling is what takes all this rethink, refine, redo. Deschooling is the time that you take to do that. Like I said in the beginning, even when we want to change, our human nature is to like default back to what's familiar, so that's why it's so important to take this time to decompress and disconnect from everything we've known, everything we've been told, and everything we've experienced personally with education. We need to do that as parents. And if our kids, especially if our kids have already been in the education system, they need that time too. Parents need time to connect. If your kids have been in the school system, then they've been away from you for most of the day. So this is a great time to connect with your kid emotionally and academically even more. Like, we all have a connection with our kids, but this time allows you to go even deeper. You need time to process as a parent, to process the responsibility of taking on this education component for your kids, because you do know that it's going to affect their life and their future. And it's a lot to process and take in, again, which is why I'm doing this, because I know that it's hard and I know it's scary and I know it's overwhelming, but you can do it. And taking the time to process through this will help you not jump right in and get overwhelmed when things aren't working, and jump right in and not know where to turn when you don't know what to do or you don't know if something's working or not. You need this time to deschool, to review all this information, review all the types of curriculum, all the systems, all the stuff that I'm going over in this workshop. You need that time to dig deeper into all of these concepts, which actually I'm going to have a deeper coaching program for all of this. You need time to organize your resources. So as you're going through and trying to figure all this out, you need time to gather, organize your life, organize your schedule, organize how you're going to do this. You need time to plan. A lot of parents jump in, they think they have to plan and get stuff for the whole year and buy all this curriculum, and you don't. You can plan for a little bit and see if it works, so that you don't want to plan out everything so long, because you need that time to adjust as you're going. But you can make some goals, like, you can sit down and write some goals for the year. By 3 months, I want to start trying this curriculum. At 6 months, I want to, have a check to see what my kids learned. There's a lot of things that you can do to plan. And just like you need that time to deschool and separate from that traditional mindset and system thinking, kids need that too. They need to decompress. Like I mentioned earlier, one of my kids wanted to go back to school, and he's already wanting to come back home. He's doing great. He's been unschooled for 2 years. He's making the top grades in his classes, but the days are long. He's exhausted, and he's not even struggling. Like, he just goes, school's a breeze. He's one of those kids. It's just a breeze. He's not being bullied. He's not dealing with anything other than it's just a long day for him. And so kids need that time to decompress if they've just been pushed and pushed and pushed. And imagine if your kid's been dealing with bullying or dealing with any kind of other trauma at life or at school, they're going to need some time to just kind of like readjust. When they go to school, they're told what to do all day long, what to do, how to walk, what to think, everything that they do throughout their day, their volume is controlled. So they need to decompress and think, how do I manage myself? How do I control myself? Kids need time to relax. If their identity has been tied to their academic success or their academic failures, they need to learn how to relax and learn that they're going to be able to have a new learning experience that isn't going to tie who they are simply to grades, but it's really going to be about their accomplishments, about their attempts, about their personal gains that are measured against themselves and not against other people in that class who maybe aren't struggling like they are, who maybe have a totally different life experience than they do. Maybe they have more exposure to whatever that information is. They're not going to be compared. So these kids need to learn how to embrace this new way of thinking that they're getting judged against themselves and their own ability at this point and their own attempt to learn, and that they're going to be evaluated and looked at by you on what they're trying, on their accomplishments, and not nitpicked for every little thing that they do wrong. Okay, kids need time to explore. Some of these kids don't even know what they're interested in. Like they've just kind of been told maybe they play video games. They know they're interested in that. But I mean, as far as topics that they could explore for learning, events locally, maybe they don't even know what goes on in their town. Things that they're interested in that they could pour themselves into to learn about. So kids need time to explore and kind of figure out what they want to learn about and what they want to be engaged with. Kids need time to heal. Again, this is so important. If you've got kids who've been in the school system being bullied or dealing with trauma at home or at school or in life, kids just need time. We tell kids, get over it, get over it, get over it. And that's why the adult self-help industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, is because we were told as kids, get over it, pray more, just deal with it, suck it up. We can't do that. We have to give them tools. Yeah, they can deal with it. Let's tell them how to deal with it. Don't tell them deal with it. Tell them pray about it. Let's tell them how to pray, meditate, how to think and process. There's so much more to those words that we tell kids to do, and we don't tell them how to do it. And I put connect at the bottom here. I know I put it at the top for parents because I feel like parents, we have already connected to our kids. Whether they're connected to us or not, we're connected to our kids. We love our kids. We're connected even when they cut off that connection. For kids, they need a little more time to reconnect with us, especially if they're at that like preteen, teenager age where they don't think they need anybody. Okay, so it's going to take them a little more time to really trust that you're doing this for them, to trust that this isn't a trap or a joke, to trust that this is really everything that you want it to be for them and for their sake, and that you want to meet their needs and not just some societal, society says you have to do it this way and this is why you're going to do it because everybody says you have to do it this way. Like, they need to see that you're committed and that you are in this for them. And when you create those connections, which we'll talk about in the connected learning, when you start creating those connections with the kids, and you can do this during that deschooling time, focus on those connections. Those kids will come and reconnect. I'm telling you, I have a middle schooler. I have a kid, she's 17 now. In middle school, I lost her. She was so far gone. I had to fight. I had to fight for her life. And it was a battle. Her mind was gone, mixed up with an older boy and friends that were no good. And I could have just given up because she made me feel insane sometimes. But I fought for that kid. And we went on the road. I was lucky. I was able to kind of remove her from a lot of that influence. And we went on the road and we connected. And we have the most amazing relationship. She's 17. I have a great, fantastic relationship with her. And I wouldn't change that. I have that with all my kids. But I didn't think I was going to be able to have that with her. I thought I had lost it. It can happen. You can reconnect if you've lost that connection, or if it's been disconnected, and you can connect even deeper with all your kids or your one kid, however many kids you have. Okay, so deschooling is super, super important to take that time to do that.